Yes, indeed, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jay Jordan, and I just got back from Barclays, where the Liberty took on the Indiana Fever at home, and they smacked them up, beat them down. With final score was 104-68. This was the third matchup against the Fever already. The Liberty are only 9 games in and have played the Fever 3 times. 2 at home and 1 on the road, and the Liberty have won every single matchup. It was a very good game for the Liberty, I should say. Every player on the team who came in the game scored, so that's always a positive, and the Liberty corrected some of the mistakes that we've seen in previous games, which we'll get to in my final thoughts. As always in these videos, we're going to touch on the game itself, the box score, and then my thoughts at the end. So if you like this type of content and you want me to continue making more of it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that noti bell so you get notified every time I am posting or I'm going live for a watch along. Salute. For the starting lineups for the New York Liberty, they got Courtney Vandersloot back in the lineup. Last game she was out with a back strain or back tightness, so she was back in the starting lineup. So they had Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Betnijah Laney-Hamilton, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones, which is their current starting 5. And for the Indiana Fever, they had Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Christy Wallace, Melissa Smith, and Aaliyah Boston. So the first quarter, as I was getting into Barclays, it was a lot of people there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Compared to the previous game I attended, this game it took me a little bit to get in. They had a lot more security. I saw a lot of Caitlin Clark 22 Iowa. You seen Iowa jerseys. It was a frenzy out there. But when I finally got in, we were about halfway through the first quarter, and the Liberty were already out to like a 13-4 lead or something like that. I went back and looked at some of the plays. Brianna Stewart got a layup right off the tip, the beginning of the game tip. Tipped it right to her. She gets a layup. Liberty were passing the ball, moving the ball around. The Fever, it must be said, they played the day before at home, a noon game. It was basically an 11 a.m. game in Indiana. A game that they beat the Chicago Sky. A lot of controversy behind some of the things that happened in that game, but we'll get to that another time. So the Liberty continued to dominate in that first quarter, limited Caitlin Clark to, I don't think she hit any points in that first quarter, and they won that quarter 31-13. So cool. This is what the Liberty do. They get out to first quarter leads in recent times, and the second quarter is where things go get a little shaky. But they continued that same thing in the second quarter. They were playing well, but then towards the end of the second quarter, they started to take their foot off the gas. They started to get very 3 happy. Just every possession was a 3, and they weren't falling, leading the Fever to get some transition buckets, get back in the game. And thankfully, the Liberty after a timeout by Sandy Brondello, the Liberty corrected that at around the 2 to 3 minute mark. Finish off the quarter strong, and finish off the quarter with the second quarter. They each scored 24 points in there. At halftime, the Liberty were up by a lot. Liberty were up they had a 55-37 lead. 55-37. At halftime, I guess Sandy Brondello got onto them. They had limited Caitlin to 3 points. I think she hit her only points in that second quarter with a deep 3. And then the third quarter, the Liberty got back to beating them up. Outscored them 26-15 in that quarter. Ball was popping around. 3s were hitting. They were establishing their defense, getting some transition points. And the rest of the game, it was really relaxed. It was probably one of the more relaxed games I've attended in recent memory. I'm usually on the edge of my seat the whole game. I'm yelling at the court, but this one I was able to sit back, clap when they did things well, just get frustrated when they had a couple turnovers to start the third quarter. But other than that, they outscored them 23-16 in the fourth. Final score 104-68. I will say Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark did go out in the game when the game was pretty much out of hand. I think Aaliyah Boston had like a slight ankle injury. She got entangled with Leonie Fabich and had to go to the locker room, but they said she's fine. And Caitlin Clark, I guess they just figured they're sitting down. The team has played a lot of games and they were getting smoked. So final score 104-68. Liberty moved to 7-2, 5-1 at home. The Fever are 2-9, 1-5 on the road. Plus for the Fever, they don't play until end of the week, so they have a nice couple days to rest, relax, and probably have some practice as well. Because they definitely been going through the gauntlet the first couple weeks of the season. All right, so we're going to take a look at the box score here. All right, so for the Indiana Fever, we'll start off with them. We got Caitlin Clark, the aforementioned Caitlin Clark. 28 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 for 10 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3, 2 steals, a block, 3 turnovers, 2 fouls, and a minus 28 in her minutes. You got Kelsey Mitchell, her supposed to be your partner in crime. She had 21 points, no rebounds, no assists, 9 for 19 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3. No steals, no blocks, a minus 29 in her minutes. Christy Wallace, 19 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist, 2 for 7 from the field. Everybody was a minus in their minutes, to be honest with you. Alyssa Smith, 17 points and 8 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston, 5 points and 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Not very good from her. Their bench, Katie Lou Samuelson, 20 minutes, had a 1 point, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Erica Wheeler, 7 points and 4 rebounds, 2 assists off the bench, had 3 turnovers. Grace Berger, 13 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Lexi Hull, 7 minutes, no points. Celeste Taylor finally got some minutes, no points for her. And Victoria Saxton got minutes as well. She had 2 points. Everybody was a minus in their time on the floor. For the New York Liberty, Courtney Vandersloot back in the lineup, 23 minutes, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. She only had 2 turnovers, those 2 silly turnovers at the beginning of the third quarter. Plus 23 in her minutes. Sabrina with 16, 6 and 6, 5 of 10 from the field. Had 4 turnovers, really have to clean that up. There was a one where she passed it to nobody in the corner. She thought Kayla was going to be there and passed it to literally no one. Betnijah led the team in scoring with 20 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, played great defense on Caitlin, only missed 2 shots, had 2 steals to go along with it. Brianna Stewart, 13, 6 and 5, 5 for 11 from the field. And Jonquel had a monster double-double, 18 and 13 with 2 steals and a block and plus 24 in her minutes. The bench was a positive today, people. The bench was a positive. Kennedy Burke played 23 minutes. Niara Sabali was out today with back spasm, so Kennedy Burke got a lot of those minutes there. She had one of her better games in the Liberty jersey at home. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, 3 steals, and 3 blocks for her. Kayla Thornton, back to a bench role after starting last game. 19 minutes, 5 points, 1 for 4 from 3. She started doing some uncharacteristic things, trying to like go off the dribble and shoot mid-range jump shots. I like Kayla when she's in the corner or she's chasing offensive rebounds and getting putbacks that way. Leonie Fabich played 17 minutes, had 8 points, 2 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. I think once she gets her shot going, we'll be solid and more confident. Marquisha got some minutes towards the end. She scored her first point in the last game. She hit her first free throw, missed the second. Today she gets fouled again, hits both her free throws, gets 2 rebounds, had a nice block as well on Grace Berger. And Ivana Dojkic got 3 minutes. She came in, hit her only 3-point attempt, had a 1 rebound and 1 assist. So everybody on the Liberty scored that got in the game, which is a positive. That means everybody was feeling good. Bo was moving around, and they were just taking advantage of a lesser opponent. All right, my final thoughts on this game. There's not much to critique. The one thing I would have critiqued is the guard play. They need to limit those turnovers. Sabrina had 4. Sloot had 2 at the beginning of that third, where those turnovers turned into points. Against a better team, that could be an issue. But listen, they were up by a lot. I just want us to be as close to perfect as we can. It was nice to see the minutes that the bench got. I liked the production from Kennedy today. I think just getting her more integrated or more involved with the offense. I know she's coming off a grueling overseas stint, so they're trying to limit her minutes. I know the rotations are a little out of whack right now. But I think once Sandy can finally solidify them and guarantee them this is when I'm going to play you, or these are the minutes you're going to play, then everything will come into play. They just have to continue to work on that corner 3, because that corner 3 has been open, and Kennedy today hit hers, which she wasn't hitting in the games past. All right. I don't got too many thoughts today. They blew them out. Looked good. Second quarter run was quelled. They corrected their mistakes there. So I don't have much to say. Next game for the Liberty is against the Chicago Sky. Remember, guys, this is Commissioner's Cup week. This is the first week of the Commissioner's Cup. The Liberty, they're 1-0 in the Commissioner's Cup standings right now. In Commissioner's Cup, point differential matters. So if you see teams are keeping their starters in or trying to run up the score, they're trying to make sure that if it ends in a tiebreaker, that the point differential is big enough over the other opponent that they can still get the number 1 seed. So the Liberty play on June 4th against the Chicago Sky in Chicago. Remember, the Liberty lost their home game to Chicago a couple days ago. That was their first loss of the season. So I know the Liberty will be looking to get revenge and beat the Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky coming off a loss against the Indiana Fever at their house. So I know they're trying to make sure that they avenge that loss as well. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in as always. Before you leave, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit those noti bells, and I will be back all this week for watch alongs. There'll be watch alongs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Liberty are on the road, so we're going to be getting the Liberty content out, as well as on Wednesday we'll have a special game from one of the other teams that are playing. Until next time, people, salute.